My name is Morgan Minky, and this is my audience. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing my speech on vaccinations. A little bit about it is like whenever boys or kids are really young, they're supposed to, vaccinations are supposed to protect like babies whenever they first enter the world because their immune system's not built up. It's also in some states a law that requires certain vaccinations to be given and for them to enter in public schools. And also there's kind of a difference between whether people want them or not and ways to go about not getting vaccinated, and the reasons why can either be good or bad just based on the person. So a little bit to know about vaccinations to be able to understand what it is. Basically a vaccine is a weaker or a non-active part of the vaccination given to the person, which makes its body be able to destroy the vaccine or like a simpler version of it. So whenever someone does get infected, like let's say a cold or the flu virus, their body is able to fight off the vaccine. A reason why a lot of people, why they do not get vaccinated is because there is reports of like people having autism spectrum disorder from getting like the 6 main childhood vaccinations that people are required to have. And in a study on vaccinations, there was reported a really low rate of being diagnosed with the disorder. And that's kind of one of the reasons why a lot of people shouldn't look at it and say, oh, well, it's going to cause autism or whatever, because a lot of times it's very rare that it really does. And now there's also laws that require people to get vaccinated. Like in each state there's their own rules and own ways that you can go about not getting not require you to get vaccinated, because a lot of public schools require kids to have a list of things that they have, and otherwise if they do not get those vaccinations they get sent home from school and they can no longer return unless they have those vaccinations. In the state of Michigan, a mother refused to vaccinate her son, and she was actually sent to 5 days in jail. And this is the one most kind of talked about. She didn't want to get her son vaccinated because she was scared it was going to harm him or anything, and the son ended up getting vaccinated underneath his dad's custody. And for example, for like Michigan, a lot of the rules have changed about vaccination. One of the rules now to be able not to have your child vaccination is you have to go to a you first must go to educator on local health care and have them educate you about the reasons what a vaccination is and how it is to prevent a disease or anything like that. And next you have to sign a waiver saying like that you know the risk of like putting your child in danger and also the other people in danger of not getting your child vaccinated. And the last thing is like how vaccines affect other people. A lot of people want to don't get vaccinated because of their religion or their belief system, or just because they don't have the they can't get the vaccination because they're either dealing with like leukemia or cancer or anything like that. And it's really hard whenever like if you're going through that some of the stuff, it's kind of understandable not to get vaccinated. But whenever it's none of those kind of reasons, it's kind of difficult not to say that you can't get your kid vaccinated because it's the low cost and everything like that. And the reason why I say this is because we recently just had last year like the mumps outbreak in schools, and it was a lot of reasons for it happening is because a lot of kids were not vaccinated just because for a certain reason or anything like that. And it just kind of shows you like even kids that were vaccinated were still getting affected by it because it created a stronger infection with the mumps. And that's the reason why vaccines should happen in kids, and also just kind of a little background about it and just to decide for yourself whether kids should be getting vaccinated or not, and also just to understand it more. Alright, so 2 questions.
Do you have a percentage on how many kids got autism?
The percentage of like how many didn't was like 81 and 88 didn't really get autism, and some showed like very low symptoms of autism in it.
What's our state's law on vaccinations?
I do not know. I just kind of looked up Michigan's because this is the woman, she was a mother of like a really young baby, and her son were going through shared custody things, and I kind of used that as an example. Okay.
How about that,
All right. And then just click close.